All right, we're going to continue working on factoring. And like I said in the welcome back video, we're going to factor today when our a term does not equal 1. So first of all, let's talk about the standard form of a quadratic, and then we'll look at an example of what we mean by a term, b term, c term, and all that. Okay, so remember the standard form of a quadratic is you have ax squared plus bx plus c. Your a term is the coefficient in front of your quadratic, the b term is the coefficient in front of your linear term, and the c term is what we call the constant. So an example would be 6x squared plus 11x plus 4. Okay, so there's an example of a quadratic in standard form. Here your a term is 6, your b term is 11, and your c term is going to be 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the process of factoring a quadratic in which we have a number other than 1 in front of the x squared term, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply the a term by the c term. So again, if we have this example here, 6x squared plus 11x plus 4, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply the 6 by the 4. That's going to give me 24. Okay? The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the factors of a times c that add up to b. So find the factors of a times c that add up to the b term. Well, I know that a times c, I just multiply my a times my c term, I got 24, and I know that my b term, if I look at this quadratic, is 11, okay? So I want to find the factors of a times c that add up to b. So I want to find the factors of 24 that add up to 11. So let's just take a look here. Let's see what they might be. I got 1 and 24, where there's no combination of 1 times 24 that's going to give me 11. So let's try another one. What about 2 and 12? Okay, not quite, but we're getting a little closer. Next, let's try 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Think we found our combination there. 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 plus 8 is going to be 11. So it looks like that's going to be the factors of a times c. They're going to add up to that b term, which was 11. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split up the b term using those factors. Okay, so 11x, I'm going to split it into 3x and 8x. Okay, so I just split up that middle term using those factors, 3x and 8x. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to group the split up parts of the b term with a or c terms depending on where the common factors may be. This is where it's very important. Might get a little tricky here, but follow along and you'll do just fine. So again, we want to group the split up parts of the b term. The split up parts are 3x and 8x. That's where we split up the 11x. We split it into 3x and 8x. So we want to group those parts of the b term with a or c depending on where the common factors are. So let's look at our a term again. Our a term was 6, and then we had the x squared, and then our c term was 4. Okay? If I look and see where I might have common factors, 3 and 6, I know they have a common factor of 3. 8 and 4 have a common factor of 4. So what I can do is I can group the 3x next to the 6x squared, and I can group the 8x next to the 4. Okay? So now they're paired basically with sections where I can take out some common factors. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do, the next step, is I'm going to split this down the middle. I'm going to take the 6x squared plus 3x, split down the middle, plus 8x plus 4. Okay, I'm going to split the 4 terms down the middle and take out common factors of the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. Okay, the greatest common factor of 6 and 3 is 3, and the greatest common factor of x squared and x is x. Okay, so 6 divided by 3 is 2, x squared divided by x is x. And of course, 3 divided by 3 is 1, x divided by x is 1, so I'm only left with a 1 over there once I take the 3x out over there. Okay, now if I look at the other side over here, I've got 8x and 4. The greatest common factor of 8 and 4 is going to be 4. There's not an x over there, so I can't take another x out. So when I take the 4 out of the 8, I'm left with 2, and then I still have that x there. And then when I do 4 divided by 4, I'm left with 1. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to go to my very last step down here. I'm going to take out the remaining common factor and rewrite it. So I've got 3x times 2x plus 1, and then I got plus 4 times 2x plus 1. And if you look, I have a common factor here, 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1. So I can go ahead and take out the 2x plus 1 from both sides, and then I'm left with times 3x plus 4. Okay, guys? So that's the process, and it's going to take some time for you to practice, but we're going to go over some examples in my next video. All right, thank you.